What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Football Capital and welcome back to another Premier League review show. Before we get the show started, Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to you, Rami.
Merry Christmas, my brother.
The year's almost done.
It is. It's been an amazing year.
It's been another great year.
Amazing year.
And some great football, great matches have been happening in the last couple of weeks,
Yeah.
especially the last couple of days, should I say.
That's right.
So this review will be touching on game week 20 and a little bit of 19 as well that happened midweek.
Correct.
So where do we start? Where do we start?
Well, I mean, we'll start roughly with the first game of the round,
First game of the
which was
round.
Brighton and Bournemouth.
Brighton, look, I think they lost last week to Spurs.
They did 2-1.
2-1.
Away to
And I
Spurs.
think actually in that midweek game, I think they actually played well, in my opinion. I think they could have got a result there. But look, they had to bounce back. Bournemouth, they've been so inconsistent this season. They're floating at the bottom of that relegation zone.
Yeah.
And like you were saying before, Aaron Moy
Absolute blunder, man. Had a crazy game.
absolutely killed it in this game.
I think that was his first goal for the club.
It was, yeah.
And what a way to do it as well, man. You know, what a finish, class. And the commentator mentioned it when he scored the goal. You know, the player of the match was Aaron Moy in that game, and the goal he put on was class. And we know we've seen his class, and we've seen the kind of level of football he can produce.
We've even he even thought he had an assist, but VAR ruled that one out.
Yep.
Somehow, like
Never celebrate
these VAR calls, especially this week, some massive calls. I think it was about 3 or 4 big massive calls.
Huge.
But look, they got chalked off. They got Aaron Moy with that brilliant goal. The way he cut in and finished that one off was fantastic. It was very similar to the one he scored when they first came into the Premier League against United. He reminded me of that one a little bit.
That's right.
But yeah, look, Brighton, they're staying. What are they now? Mid-table, somewhere around the mid-table.
They're challenging, man. They're challenging.
Well, they're actually 14th, but they're getting. I think they're a bit further away from that 18th position.
They are 5 points from the relegation.
Look, and that was 1 win in 5, which is massive with Chelsea next.
So that win was a
massive win for them, especially with like Southampton, West Ham now sacked their manager. We'll speak a little bit more about that. Aston Villa, who've been up and down as well, they could get creep up as well.
I'm actually quite surprised, and we'll talk obviously as the episode progresses with Aston Villa being in that bottom 3. It's quite interesting. It's a battle up top, but it's not much of a battle up top anymore, but it's more of a battle down the bottom.
Now who's going to survive?
Can hold?
Yeah,
who can survive?
Arsenal are floating up and down that.
Oh my gosh,
down
man.
the bottom somewhere there.
my
But
gosh. Look, the next game we saw Southampton draw to Crystal Palace, a 1-1 draw, which I think was always going to take place with them. For the both of them, I think the draw was quite healthy, especially because the week before we saw them both pull a victory. Southampton, the big victory against Chelsea in round 19.
That's right.
And obviously we saw Crystal Palace beat West Ham 2-1.
A great goal by Ayew. How he
Amazing goal.
Has to be the goal of the month for me.
think so.
Even with all these crackers, the way
he beat the whole
he beat the whole team and then finished that off 90th minute. And was it this game they got a goal disallowed? Zaha was off, like again another controversial call.
It was.
But look, and that 1-1, that Southampton, they're slowly making their way up, very slowly. I mean, they were kind of maybe picked to go down after like 10 rounds, but they're slowly getting out of that zone. Crystal Palace, top half of the table. I mean, they're not far off. Like you got like 2 wins there, and you're in like top 6 position anyway.
Absolutely. And you know what? 4 points for the last 2 rounds for both clubs. Southampton's been impressing lately as well, man. Southampton, with the likes of, was it Ings that's been scoring consecutive games now?
Ings is up there in the Golden Boot as well.
I think 6 goals in the last 7 games or something like that.
Scoring.
Something thereabouts, but impressive from both clubs.
Especially against Chelsea, away at Chelsea last midweek.
Man. Absolutely.
And it was a good result for them. But let's see, and this is where it's going to become harder for the bigger teams when they're versing teams like Southampton, Bournemouth, your West Hams and all that, even Watford, for example.
That's right.
Where they're fighting for their lives now. Like this is coming to the point where 18 games left, pretty much, and you're fighting for your life. I mean, especially to survive in the Premier League, and you're going to get games where, like we've already seen this month.
That bottom 3 though, it's an interesting one. Aston Villa, Watford, and Norwich.
I don't want Villa to go down because I think we grew up of them being a Premier League club, so kind of.
And you know what? As of the last year or so, I kind of don't want Watford to go down either.
Yeah, but
Aston Villa, I get it. Childhood, you've always seen them competing, I guess, or being up there in the Premier League. And
Watford are kind of not far off. They're 3 points. Look, they get 3 points out of that drop zone.
man, anyone there.
So this drop zone is going to be very interesting in the next couple of games, especially the games that we got now in New Year.
Arsenal's not far off either. It's crazy. It's
Arsenal's-
unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. Look, the next game we saw Newcastle lose at home to Everton 2-1.
Everton, new manager coming
Everton,
in.
Ancelotti's Everton looking the goods, I think, man.
Well,
A lot of pressure been placed on what's his name, Calvin Lewin, and 2 goals, a double in this game. And
Yeah,
and
let's
a lot of
score
the fans are picking at him now, like you should be scoring more goals than you have been. It's hard, of course.
Yeah,
Anyone can talk. It's quite easy just to talk, but he pulled a double this game, which was good to see for the.
to be
youngster.
honest, I don't see much of a difference of when they were under Silva and under Ancelotti. I think it's going to take time for them to gel to whatever system Ancelotti wants to play. But really, haven't really seen a much of a difference.
No.
What I have seen maybe in defensively, they've held the lead. I don't think they've conceded under Ancelotti.
Is Ancelotti the biggest manager Everton's ever had in the history of the club?
100%.
It is.
He's won everywhere he's gone. He's won.
I was shocked when I saw the headline.
He's won like 3 Champions League. He's won the Premier League with Chelsea.
I was shocked though when I saw it with the headline of Ancelotti to Everton, and during the same time was Arteta to Arsenal. If you had to tell me, and I was a betting man, it'd be the other way around.
Yeah, you think that's
Ancelotti to
But
Arsenal.
then again, Arsenal, they don't want to pay.
It's a disease of a job at the moment. We'll talk about that when we get to there. But look, Everton again 2-1 away to Newcastle, which is a great result. We saw Everton pull a result in round 19 as well. Everton winning 1-0 to Burnley, but Newcastle losing to United 4-1. So, it's, now
Even that game against United, it wasn't the same Newcastle that maybe we versed the first time around where they beat us 1-0. And even because I don't think they've been doing bad the last couple of weeks. I think they've been getting a few results. But in that game against United, I think they were
a huge loss though was Shelvey.
Yeah.
Shelvey's been their player of the season. He's their captain at the moment. He's the man they turn to when they're
even
in need.
against Everton. I think they could have done a lot better. I mean, Everton. Then, like I said, I don't think they've improved since Ancelotti has come in as of yet. But still, look at the position they're at. They could be in danger, man. And like you said, no one's too good to go down. They're above Arsenal, so. But yeah, look, Newcastle. I think hopefully they'll stay up. That's another team I kind of want to stay up. But
Was it Everton against Burnley? Was it the game before Everton vs Burnley where Duncan Ferguson put on a player and then I think 15 minutes later took him off again?
No.
What game was that in?
That's against United.
That was against United.
When Everton
it was.
played United.
That's right. That's right.
He took off Moise Keane. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a bit of
his confidence about what
it's a bit of kick in the ground. Like you put him on, you take him off. Like relax, give the guy a bit of time.
And he said to kill time or something. He was
I don't know.
He could have taken anyone off, but whatever.
I don't know. That's a funny one, man. But look, Everton, like you said, that they aren't looking much better under Ancelotti. It will take a bit of time. Is it placing a bit more kind of like a prestige name to the club? Of course, Ancelotti's managing Everton. That's unbelievable. Since Moyes was there for about 11, 12 years. Since Moyes has left, they've gone from manager to manager, and it's been a trend with many clubs like that. You know, Arsene Wenger, when he left, Arsenal's happening. United since Ferguson's left, and the same's happening with them. But I think an Ancelotti,
if they can keep
for
him,
at least 2-3 years.
He has to. And if he can try get him playing some good football, maybe even try get into that top 6, which Everton should be doing.
Yeah.
Like there were a couple, maybe a decade ago, where they were up there. I think 1 year they came 4th.
That's right.
And they were actually competing. All right, they're not winning as trophies as maybe the club wants to.
But Everton's always been that club that when you have him that week, it's always a bit of a
It's never easy. Yeah, it's never easy.
And now that Ancelotti's there, it kind of adds to that that name, I guess. But look, the next game we saw Watford, a 10-man Watford beat Aston Villa 3-0.
That's a shock to me. I mean, Watford they've been struggling all year. Deeney's come back. They've looked a little bit better.
Oh, the guy's quality for the club. Not the most consistent player,
3-0 as well to Villa.
And they got red card, 10 men as well.
Who? Watford? Did Watford get a player sent off?
Yeah, Watford in the 40th minute, 57th minute.
So just after the second half.
Yeah, and they still popped 2 goals in. Troy Deeney with the penalty, and then Sarr in the 71st minute, making it 3-0.
There you go. They got the result, and it's a much needed 3 points for Watford.
But it's just disappointing from Aston Villa. You're in the relegation zone.
And they're like, they played again. Remember when they played
They
United?
pulled a
They
result
beat us.
against United.
They played well there.
The likes of Grealish obviously performing, and
especially
then
against Liverpool, they played well as well. They lost in the 2 goals in the 90th minute. They conceded.
yeah, it's an interesting one.
I don't know. Maybe they got like a curse against the teams that they should be beating.
Look, both being in the relegation zone, there's always going to be
There's
that
a big 6-point on this.
There's
one.
always going to be that grunt between the two of them. It's going to be a lot more important than if they versus United or a big club. When you're versing each other, it's just like the top 4, they versus each other. When the bottom 3 is versus each other, like you said just then, it's a 6-point game.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, man. It's a massive deal. But look, the week before, obviously, we saw Watford draw to Sheffield United 1-1. Sheffield United, again, have been a good team this season. They've been a great team this season, coming from the first division.
But then that's like with Watford, maybe that whole thing with Deeney coming back has boosted the team.
It has.
You know what I mean? Like he has to be, you know, if you could call him a club legend, and the way his attitude is to playing. I mean, like captain material. If you want any sort of captain, he's your man.
Absolutely.
And look, even though when they, I think even the week before when they beat United, he was saying that just because he's back, it's not about him. It's the team that's put in all the work for them to get to this point. So look, they come back from beating United 1-0 with Sheffield. So points there, another 3 points against Villa. Haven't lost in the last 3, which is, I mean, for them
Positive signs. Positive signs.
Has to be positive. Yeah, that's it. 0. Yeah. 2 wins, 1 and 2 draws.
7 points in the last 3, possible 9 points, which is a positive sign for them. Look, I don't see Watford being relegated. Watford will climb back out of there. I believe so. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. They got Wolves next though.
But the thing is, in speaking of the relegation battle, Aston Villa in round 19 beat Norwich 1-0. Now Norwich are dead last. Aston Villa was a big win for them.
So
if Aston Villa beat Watford this round instead of losing 3-0 to 10 men, they're out of that relegation zone. Norwich,
and it's going to get trickier because you look at some of the teams that are hovering above that the relegation zone. West Ham are playing Bournemouth next. They're playing each other, which are 20 and 19 points. So you could see one of them even dropping down if Villa wins this week. That's right. Villa's got Burnley. Burnley's not far off. Brighton and Southampton got versus Chelsea and Tottenham. So if anyone drops points, it's neck and neck at the bottom. I mean, this relegation zone is probably a bit more interesting than what's happening. It
is. And speaking of relegation zone, we actually saw, like we just said, the dead last team, Norwich, pull impressive 1 point against Tottenham at home, 2-2. Now,
I reckon they should have been 2-0 up at one stage.
Absolutely, 100%.
With that goal from Pukki.
That's right.
It's just annoying that the way.
Scared to celebrate nowadays, huh?
But it's not even that. Like, it's the stupidest. It's just like there's no advantage. Like his shoulder. We speak about this every week. Every week there's some issue. There's some controversy with VAR, and like his body, most of his whole body is like feet and body are behind the actual defender. What? Because his shoulder a little bit. Like where are you marking it? Like you're zooming in and we're counting pixels now.
It's
like
stupid.
We're counting pixels. It's getting
I reckon
ridiculous.
FIFA, which is computer generated, isn't that bad. I swear to God, it's become ridiculous
Yeah,
now.
like
it's like give the benefit of the doubt. If his shoulder was forward or not, does that change the game, the way they
like
play?
couple. I don't know if we done a. I can't remember if we did a video, but the week where Mane scored against Watford, and I'll never forget they disallowed the goal. Like Mane was onside, came like he headed the ball on an angle like this. The defender's here, but because his arse cheek is like a little bit offside, you're gonna call that. But even though his whole body
is there anything that can be used to score a goal?
Yeah. But come on, like the thing is, where's your advantage? It's like, is he getting an advantage from him being in that position? No, he's not. His feet are still behind the line. Well, his shoulder is an advantage.
Right.
Even when the lines are literally together, you got to give it to the attacking team. It's always been like that. It's always been given the benefit to the attacking team.
I don't know when they changed all these.
But then, was that Harry Kane did Harry Kane score in this one?
Harry Kane and
Ericsson,
that's right.
At the end.
But you know what? It's a bit concerning. Obviously, it's still the freshing managers coming in. Mourinho's in and still changing things. Some quality players there to work with from Mourinho, but disappointing, man. 2-2 draw to dead last Norwich, and it wasn't like they drew. It wasn't like they drew and they deserved to win. A draw was a good result for Tottenham this game.
Yeah, and even to be fair, the week before they played Brighton. which they won. Okay, they got the result.
They lost to Chelsea 2-0.
The game they won against the Wolves were all over him.
All over him.
You know what I mean? And like all over him in that game. And lucky 90th minute header, I think, for Juan Vertonghen or something that got him the victory. But they were so lucky in this game not to get a draw, to lose. They were so lucky not to lose. Yes, I think they won 5-0 to Burnley, but then the week before they lost to United. Now, if you're going for the top four, you need to beat the teams like Chelsea and United. You can't, especially at home. Here you lost at home to Chelsea, who've really, like you were saying, since that transfer ban thing has gone, opened up. They've kind of been on a little bit of a spiral, and Chelsea. I mean, look, to be fair, Chelsea is good playing away, but at home they've been terrible this season.
Absolutely terrible.
I know if there's a lot more pressure of them playing at home, but yeah, man, it's interesting. But I think Tottenham have kind of gone a little bit under the radar as well. No one's really speaking about them. They're going about their business. They're getting the results. Yes, all right, maybe this result, under Mourinho at United would have been glorified and would have been like your job's under pressure. What against Norwich?
That's what Tottenham gives him, though. He's managed Chelsea in the past where a lot of pressure has been placed. He managed United where even more pressure has been placed. In a club like Tottenham, I think he can
pressure. No, the expectations are still to make top four and win trophies, but not as much as it is.
He won't get scrutinised
so
for every result as much. Maybe
it is a good move. Look, so far he's doing all right. He's got Southampton in the next game.
Oh, look, he's doing okay. He's doing all right.
His day, whenever it is.
It's interesting seeing the likes, like we spoke about Ancelotti being at Everton, Mourinho now being at Tottenham. It's interesting
all these big managers
football's changed, because now there's all these ex-players are taking the big clubs, which is funny to see.
That's
man.
right.
It's actually hilarious, I swear.
Who do we have next here?
So after that game, we saw Leicester winning away to West Ham 2-1.
Big win, in my opinion, after getting pumped by Liverpool last week. Or midweek.
Massive pump, that's right. And the fact that, obviously the likes of their star man up front, Vardy wasn't playing this game.
Hardly, you know what? Mr. Brendan Rodgers kind of killed me in my fantasy. No, what's his name?
Tillemans.
Not Tillemans, no.
Tillemans my team.
What's his name? Cresswell, is it not Cresswell? What's his name, man? Chilwell.
No,
Chilwell.
On the bench.
Who's the other guy? The Turkish defender.
Soyuncu.
Yeah, Soyuncu. He's not even there. All my players he's take out for this game, but
he's become the Guardiola.
Like you said, no Vardy.
Vardy didn't start. Tillemans didn't
Madison
start.
was on the bench
Madison
as well.
came off the bench.
And like this
resting players.
I think it was a good result.
Very important.
With the games coming up, it's very important.
This Christmas holiday time is always hard. So.
Yeah, look, and then I think after that game, they sacked Pellegrini. I think it was during the United game that they made they made that announcement.
These announcements happen like they're nothing anymore, eh? Like just Pellegrini sacked. Like what happened? Wasn't the game on? Like was it mid-game?
Mid-game.
Imagine mid-game they have on the shoulder, go home. Like honestly, that's what it feels like, man. It's like while they're playing, let's just sack managers.
But look, Leicester's still up there. Look, it was a big shock last week, which was
4-0 lost to
I mean, you lost to City the week before that, or the game before that, 3-1. And then you expect them maybe to bounce back against Liverpool, especially the form they've been on. Liverpool have been away on the World Club Cup, so you think a lot more games. You think they might be tired, but Liverpool just walked all over them. 4-0. And they needed a result, and even the week before that when they drew 1-1 with Norwich. So, but this win was very important for them, in my opinion.
The fact that they beat West Ham, which isn't the strongest club at the moment, obviously we're going for the sacking now.
But that's one thing that's tricky. You're versing a team that's down there.
Yeah, it could be anything. Yeah, but look, West Ham had one win in the last 5. And Leicester did really well. Leicester beating West Ham with all these players they've rested, key players. Which is Maddison coming off the bench, Vardy not starting, Tillemans not starting, Chilwell not starting.
Was Maddison even on the bench?
Yeah, he came off the bench.
Did he come off?
Yeah, he came on. So look, overall good result for them. 3 points is the 3 points. The race at the top now is obviously we'll talk more about it as the games go on that we speak about, but that's a bit interesting now.
Yeah, Champions League spot for Leicester. It's looking. I mean, 18 games, anything can happen, but at the moment.
Exactly right. Look, the next game we saw United winning away to Burnley 2-0.
Yep, I think it's the first time back-to-back wins.
Absolutely, and I think it was a comfortable win too. I think they played quite well.
Look, to be honest, I looked at the lineup, and it was like we rested so many players. I was a little bit worried because Burnley, they're our bogey team. The last couple of seasons at Turf Moor, we just can't win. Even that year we had Di Maria, Falcao, we've gone there and we lost 1-0, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this was a massive game for us, especially with.
What
Especially
was it about
with,
the lineup though that was a bit weird for you? Or was a bit?
It was like Wan-Bissaka didn't start. We saw Williams back in, which is good.
I like Williams starting.
Williams,
Young starting we never like.
We never like, but then I'm like, okay, there was no Pogba. And you know what? To be honest, I didn't even realize Pogba wasn't playing till literally. I looked on after the game. I looked on like Instagram or was it Twitter, and I'm like, shit, Pogba didn't play.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that he wasn't playing. So like players like that, McTominay, you saw he got injured during the game.
That's a massive concern. McTominay being injured for the club is huge. He's probably been one of their best players this season, if not the best. And then the likes of Matic slotting in there is always shaky.
That's what I mean. Like, that's another one. And Matic is, yeah, mate. He was all right this game. I can't fault him, but still, it's when you're playing Burnley, where they got like what's their Wood. And who's their striker up front? Barnes, and then you had Rodriguez that comes off the bench as well. Sometimes for Matic they're hard to deal with, but you know what? We got our first goal, which was a brilliant finish with Martial, and look, Martial and Rashford both getting the goals, and I don't think they played well, which is not too bad. And I think who else was rested in this game? Greenwood didn't play as well, so he didn't play. He played the last game against Newcastle where he scored a cracker, and I think he played the 90 minutes there. Daniel James was rested against that Newcastle game, so now and this is what you need when you got games like this. You need some sort of depth in your squad to make these changes. Resting the players away from home, 2-0 United, 3 points, 6 points in the last couple of days. And it was a good way to finish the year off when we got Arsenal in the next game. And with Arsenal dropping points again.
With the new manager as well.
It's going to be...
a bunch of things happening.
And we're playing away.
But it's good that we rested a bunch of the players. Like you said, if you look at the bench, Phil Jones, Mata, Lingard, Romero, Shaw, Greenwood, Wan-Bissaka. Obviously, the likes of Pogba not being there either. McTominay being injured. So a lot of key players didn't start for us. The big question mark for me is, before we move on to the next game of the round, this, for me, a big question mark needs to be placed on the number 10 role. Now, we keep changing. It goes from Lingard, it goes to Pereira, it goes to Pogba's back. He can play the 10 role, he's not playing. This 10 role, we've got Matt on the bench who's not starting, who can easily play the 10 role. Yeah. What's the go with the 10 role? Who do you think in the United squad right now should be taking that 10 role week in, week out, I guess?
It's hard.
It's a tough one.
It's a hard one.
Very tough one.
It depends what players are available and all that. Look, obviously, my pick will be Pogba.
If everyone's
with the players that we have, I think McTominay and Fred can do that defensive role.
They have been doing it.
And I think Fred's been okay. I mean, yeah, he loses the ball, but I don't mind if you lose the ball up high, trying to create something.
That's why.
And this is what Sanchez was getting a lot of stick for. Losing, Sanchez lost the ball or gave the ball away 8 times this round or this game. But
he's looking for any stat to make shit look bad. Yeah.
But he's looking to chip that ball over the top, or to play the risky passes.
There's more chance to lose a ball than in the back line where you're just finding feet.
And then so I think Pogba is that player. But then when you got players out and Pogba really has to play, I don't know. Maybe you play with just one defensive midfielder, and you play Pogba, and maybe depending on who we're playing, you put a Lingard or a Mata in. Pereira, you can fit in here and there, but it's not. They're here and there sort of players. Do we put them just like fill-ins? Do you know what I mean?
There's no solid 10.
Like for me, that's what I always say. Like against the big teams, Lingard should play because of the press. All right, forget about he's not going to score you 10 goals or 10 assists, whatever. But for the press, what he does, and then it leaves holes for Martial and Rashford to run through, even Daniel James to run through. That's what he's good at. Then when you're versing teams against Burnley, your Burnleys, your Brightons and all that, or your Watfords, you need someone like Mata that can try and unlock something, or a player like that. I don't think Pereira's that player.
Is Pereira a United player to you?
You know what the thing is, bro? With all this question, we always talk about it. Is he a United player? What's a United player?
Is he United worthy? Is he worthy enough to wear the jersey?
That's what I mean. Like, what's a United worthy? That's what I mean. Like with that, to me, I look at it.
It's a hard question to answer.
Like,
you're right.
We could say
it's changed to me, now.
When
10 years
Pogba
ago
came on in 60th minute against Newcastle, world class.
I
couldn't believe.
I missed the guy.
Goosebumps just thinking about this is the player that we have.
Yeah.
Is he United worthy?
Yes.
But is he United worthy because
I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says. Pogba is the best player we've got talent-wise in our team. Talent-wise again.
Yeah, talent-wise.
Always got to talk about talent-wise.
No, but look, see, that's what I mean. Like, what is a United player? Is a United player? Are we comparing him to how we were under Fergie? Is that the type of player that we're looking at? Pereira, like Lingard, what was Park Ji-sung a United player? He's very similar to Lingard. And
But he played, back then was different. Park Ji-sung back then, it was all about wearing the badge, the
yeah,
heart.
but that's what I'm
So,
but that's what Lingard does as well. Is you kind of compare him. It's very hard to
It's
say.
hard.
Is he a United?
It is hard.
Is,
Me, do I
it's
think...
not. It's not. It's not. Is he a United player?
Is he good enough to play for United?
Is he good enough?
Pereira is not good enough to play for United to me.
Look, I don't think he is.
Lingard
There's better.
isn't good enough to play for United.
Yeah, that's a different.
It's all opinion, but it is all opinion. And look, don't get me wrong. I don't like the stats that people pull out of their ass. Like Lingard hasn't scored a goal or assisted a goal in 2019. Like people that will know the game and educate will see what he does off the ball, and we understand that. But yeah, the question I guess is Pereira good enough? Or
look, you could.
That's a different question.
Are they good enough to play week in week out? Probably not. Are they good enough to be a player that comes on like a squad rotation player? Maybe in certain games. You need, like right now, we need all the bodies we can take.
We can possibly take, yeah.
But look at right now, 6 points. United need to continue this run. Massive game against Arsenal. This is like, it doesn't get any bigger to me. Result wise, don't worry about how good you play. If you want to park the bus after one, you know what I think. The way Arsenal United are going, whoever scores first wins. Yeah. In my opinion,
the top four's important. Because 3 points are very valuable.
I think to me, whoever scores first wins this game.
Yeah,
because it's really hard. We both have problems where we go one behind and we struggle. We struggle to come back.
Yeah,
we did it the first time we did it against Newcastle. Arsenal, they're very shaky in the back. Now Arteta has to maybe change things around after this.
Speaking of Arsenal, the next game of the round was the match of the round, match of the week. Arsenal at home to Chelsea, which they looked the goods in the first half. I watched this game and Arsenal looked amazing in the first half. They looked live. Ozil looked like he was firing. Torreira was absolute quality. Aubameyang was buzzing. The whole team was buzzing, and they choke again to Chelsea. And this is a huge game. It's Arteta's first
game at home,
home game for Arsenal.
First game at home.
And you know the club was, the fans were buzzing, the stadium was buzzing, everything's going, and then just like that, 2-1, they lost.
They did lose, but I think the fans were pretty happy with the performance, especially that first half. They seen the energy.
It was a passionate game.
It was. I think that you can see the fight from the players. What the fans are asking for. All right, if we're gonna lose, at least fight for the badge. Fight for.
They fought.
And I think that's what they did. And I think Arteta coming in, maybe giving a pep talk to some of the players, a bit of a wake up call. Not just to them, to the board, to the staff, about how he wants things done, how he wants things run. And look,
we saw in round 19 as well. They did drop points. They drew to Bournemouth 1-1. Chelsea obviously lost the game we spoke about.
So it was
Norwich.
a big game for both teams as well.
Both teams coming back from dropping points. One draw, one of them drew, one of them lost. So it was a big game for them. And the controversial moment of this game was the whole thing around Jorginho. It should have been a second yellow. I was absolutely shocked that it wasn't given. The fact that before that, Torreira grabbed the hand.
Same thing, pretty much same thing.
And to be honest, it wasn't even that, like Jorginho's was 10 times worse, but Torreira got yellow carded and he didn't. And then what burns it more, we sat there watching the group of the boys, one of our mates watching the game with us, Arsenal fan, and then you said, watch Jorginho score now too. And what happened? Jorginho scored, and the controversy just went on, and then it led to Abraham scoring and them losing 2-1. But massive controversial moment. The fact that VAR is in play and all that happens, well, and he's throwing yellow cards like it's fun.
The whole game,
every Arsenal player was getting yellow cards.
Did he? I kind of missed that.
Unbelievable.
Did he get the card out and then look that he's already booked him?
Correct.
Is that what happened?
He took the card out, looked at it, looked at the name, and then he put it back in his pocket. I'm like, whoa, are you joking right now? Are you joking?
That to me,
whether or not you have a yellow card already, doesn't mean shit.
Yeah,
a yellow card is a yellow card.
It's a yellow card offence.
It's simple. It's like the whole thing around, it's in the box, it shouldn't be a penalty, but if it was a free kick, it would have been given. No, a foul's a foul.
A foul's a foul. It's just that should have been, to me, another yellow, a second yellow should have been sent off there. And I think he came on. I think that he came on in the 30th minute. They took Emerson off.
That's right.
Because he made the mistake for...
the goal that scored by Aubameyang. Snuck behind Emerson, easy tuck in.
I don't know if that was the reason, but
I think they were just lacking in general, and they had to bring someone else on.
They were losing the midfield battle.
And Jorginho came on. He got yellow carded straight away, but he did bring in that fight for the team. He did.
That's what I mean. They're losing the midfield battle. You need to bring in someone like Jorginho that can hold the ball. Him, Kante.
Jorginho played great, but
Kovacic as well.
The controversial thing around the yellow. That's all.
Yeah, and then he goes on. Leno made a massive mistake for that one. He was wearing De Gea's gloves in that one.
And
straight through his
that's what I was saying
hands.
to you off camera as well. Is it more and more common now that these goalkeepers are making more errors? Like, well, I know goalkeeper errors always existed, but
Yeah, I know.
I feel like it's so much more
like,
common now.
These ones to me, like this one and the De Gea one against Watford, it's a dumb mistake.
Like you're a
It's
professional.
you know what it is? Like a keeper got red carded, put a player in goals.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's Hidora, he's just a player.
He's a left back. It's all good.
He's a striker, don't worry about it.
Wow, right,
You know what I mean? Like, things like that.
Amazing.
And it was like, and like, the thing is, you watch the replay and no one's around him. There's no pressure on him, there's no bump,
Nothing.
not even by his own players, that collision.
Emerson had him originally. Oh, you're talking about Leno, that's right. Yeah.
I'm talking about Leno, the Jorginho goal. Like, no one, he could have punched it, could have done anything. Punched it out, caught it, could have had a coffee, could have done anything, and he still decides
It's the worst thing. It's either, like, staying goals would have been the wrong thing to do. You had to come out for that.
Had to come out. It's your height.
But even if staying in goals, it would have been better than what he did. Like, honestly, it was so bad. It was so poor. It was so poor.
And then look,
And
even
to rub it in
even
their
after
face,
that
the
goal,
fact that Jorginho scored.
Yeah, especially that. Look, I think they went to check and looking for a foul because I think there was a push
Jorginho
on
pushed Torreira over to score it.
something like that. So I don't know how much but actually that's what we thought. But I think the VAR said they're
Checking
looking for offside. So I don't know what they're checking. They pick and choose what
Who
they
knows?
want to
Whatever
check.
they want to do, they do.
I think even after that, Arsenal were still pushing for that goal, which is good to see on an Arsenal kind of perspective of you're not just now.
How were
giving
the
up.
Arsenal fans' response after this game? Were they as
No,
emotional and upset, or were they positive and
there was
optimistic?
A lot of positive, a lot of positive on especially like the fan channels and all that. A lot of the criticism obviously was on the referee and the cause, which I mean, there's only one person.
I don't blame them.
You can't. That's it's clear. It's clear. Like when it's like, how do you not give him a red card? How do you not? It's a foul. It's a foul.
I'm not an Arsenal fan. I was actually shocked.
I mean, like, look,
imagine being an Arsenal fan.
I think the fans were happy with the performance-wise, and I think they can see what maybe Arteta has implied, as in like, you're not always playing out from the back. This whole playing out from the back business,
No.
you got players like Mason Mount. You got players like Tammy Abraham that have got a bit of pace on them that can shut you down. But no, let's just skip the lines and go forward.
The Arsenal's strong point is the high press, the counter, the quick touch football, the moving forward quick. And the likes like Nelson did a really good job there with the fast high press and the high running. Obviously, Aubameyang who's bullet fast up front. Look, he's playing the right football that should be played. And it's kind of like the Guardiola style. He sat with Guardiola at Man City, and it's kind of that style where we punch and we hit him in the counter. Obviously, with more experience, he'll get better. He'll be more polished.
He's only been there for like a week.
A bit of question mark around how Guendouzi played a full game for me. I don't see how he played a full game. I get why he took Ozil off the end.
Who do you going to replace him with? Because Xhaka was apparently out for illness.
Or last game.
Apparently, he's going to Hertha Berlin, but
doesn't make sense. But anyway,
all right, whatever. The reports are that he was ill, but who else do you put in that role? That's the thing. They need to go now into this market and look to buy players to strengthen their squad.
And their backline, to me, just can't cut it. It does not cut it.
Yeah, you're playing your left and right wingers or midfielders in the backline.
It just doesn't cut
and
it. And
with not that much experience, then you got David Luiz in there as well, which to me I think is a good player if he's playing further up the field. If you maybe put David Luiz as a defensive mid, maybe he'll do well.
Yeah.
But as a defender, don't really rate him. They need to get players, Arsenal. If they want to save their season, somehow they need players. Even if the only way for them is by winning Europa League.
What is? I was going to ask that. You mentioned to win Europa. What is a successful bounce back from here to end the season for Arsenal? What does it look like? Is it a top 6 finish winning the Europa? What's a positive?
Could be.
What's a positive look for them?
It could be maybe an FA Cup. They're still in that. Maybe they can build to win a trophy. Look, a trophy is. A trophy to me is probably better than getting top 4. I know you want Champions League.
They need something.
The position they're in now, silverware is probably like a good start for Arteta, a good start for the club.
Yeah.
All right, a full season now with Arteta. Let's see how we go.
Yeah.
And it would be good to start off with a trophy. We've won something. We've got the winning mentality. Try get that back into the players.
I think Arteta looks the goods. To me, I think it's going to show some. It will show some goods.
But then again,
the first thing he did was go to the fans. He's smart.
Yeah.
Arsenal's a club that's very heavily based on their fans, and I think it's very smart that he went straight to the fans and kind of talk to them first about, and he's doing the right things, and I think he will look the goods. A few more players, midfielder, defender. I think up front they're really good. A bit of backing there, and I think they'll look the goods. I think January they have to break the bank.
They don't have to break the bank. They just need to get players in.
Bring someone in. Bring one or two or three or four players in. Something.
There's a lot of links to some good players to Arsenal.
Let Xhaka go. Let that chapter end. Let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah, they have to move on. Especially if they want to make any progress.
Correct.
I mean, look, like I said, they still got Europa League, top 4. They're on 24 points. They're on 24 points.
I think top 4's gone.
Top 4.
Top 4's gone to me. I reckon the top 6 finish.
But then again,
Europa, win FA Cup.
You win. Fuck the next 2 games. You win 2 games. You're up. You never know. Yeah. They could go on a run of like 14 games where they don't lose, and then you're up there.
That's ideally what.
Anyway, it's going to be hard.
Some positive signs performance-wise. The 3 points wasn't there. Chelsea pulling 3 points, bouncing back from obviously their loss. But the next game we saw the table leaders, the champions of Europe, Liverpool winning 1-0 at home to Wolves, who both teams pulled great victories off the top 3 last week. Liverpool smashing Leicester last week in round 19, which was an unbelievable performance from Liverpool. And Wolves beating Man City
coming back
3-2.
from 2-0.
Come back from 2-0. So Liverpool 1-0 against Wolves, which I'm not saying because I don't like Liverpool, but come on, man. This VAR again. I want to put my head through this wall, man. Honestly, it's just...
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what goes on with these calls. I'm not sure how they see them. Liverpool fans will say it otherwise, but... Yeah, look, to me, Lallana's, it was a shoulder. It wasn't a handball.
It wasn't a handball. It was a great shoulder too. It was class the way he did it.
You have to, as any goal, like they say, they look up to the build-up. If there's anything in the build-up to that goal, which was Van Dijk's cross that led... It was Van Dijk's cross, touched by Lallana, and then the goal from Mane. But, come on, like... It touches your hand. It touches your hand. How come against Sheffield United, like in the penalty box, things like that, you're not calling, it's hitting your hand. But then when City happens to City and they're getting pumped by VAR this year, when it happens to City against Tottenham, when Sterling scored that winning goal, you're looking at millimeters how he skimmed his arm. So what's the difference here? And he wasn't even making himself bigger. Laporte was like that, and his hands are like pretty much in his like what do you call it, in your area where your hands are kind of natural.
A lot of jokes, a lot of memes have been pumped on about Liverpool and VAR, the next sponsor, and VAR's all about Liverpool. Look, no one in the Premier League or no fan can take away from Liverpool this year, VAR or not. I think you can't. I think regardless, they've been the best team this year. And right now, form-wise, they are the best team in Europe. That's my opinion. Yeah, it's my opinion. Again, football's full of those opinions. But VAR has heavily influenced a lot of their results. And I feel like now it's become to the point where it feels like VAR was put into place to control games and results. It's like their way of kind of controlling it without any full-blown controversial, things taking place. But that's what it looks like right now. It looks like now VAR's there to say, yep, let's give a goal here, let's take a goal here, because they are not consistent. If VAR was consistent, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, to be honest with you. Because this game, this handball from Van Dijk would have been given any other game, I can promise you that.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're picking and choosing...
But not even that, like, you don't give it, you look back at it, and it's clearly, come on, like, it clearly goes off his arm. You know what I mean?
What more do you want to see? That's what I want to question. But this game, look, we saw possession was heavily in Liverpool's favour, 63%. Both 10 shots on goal, 3-2 on target. Did Liverpool deserve to win this game, though? What do you reckon?
I don't know. To be honest, you could say yes, but Wolves, man, they did get a goal there. Their one got disallowed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they got a goal, which was a great build-up, great goal, great shot.
Was offside.
Because something was offside.
So I didn't get it. So now we get back to the rule again, and we're going to talk about VAR every week. We said it from the beginning of the year. Offside is what you can use to score a goal. You can't use a hand to score a goal.
But then again,
how is hand offside?
Where that's like I'm saying. Where are you measuring it by? Like,
is it from the elbow down?
It's from like here, right?
Because you can't score a goal.
But then what we're doing? They're using the pixels. Is it here? So from where of the shoulder is it here? It's a handball. Is it here? It's a handball. Like, is it the same of the shirt here where you're allowed it, then from here you're not. Like, how are we judging it? And it's not like it's the zoom is that close. It's all pixelated. We're looking at pixels
They're
now.
pulling red strings and blue.
Yeah, and
like,
they don't even
come
match up. The lines are level. You know, do you know what I mean? Like, where are you marking all this shit from? It's unbelievable. Like, you got to give the benefit of the doubt there. It's as simple as that. You got
Look,
they anyways they disallowed the goal. I think
Mane,
you know what?
look,
Wolves I think were decent. I think but I reckon they should have done better. I think Wolves really should have went on.
But Wolves have been decent as of late as
That's
well.
what I mean. Like,
they've been brilliant. They're sitting
I
at
think
seventh at the
the
moment.
way they went at City, that like with like pretty much aggression kind of
Yeah.
thing, 100 miles an hour. They should have done the same to Liverpool.
Here's a question I want to ask you: with Chelsea dropping and slipping, and United very unpredictable, can Wolves make top four?
I don't think they can make top four.
Wolves are
because
sitting 5 points from the four.
I don't think they can because they're like this, very inconsistent. Like, you look at, all right, they lost to Liverpool. So you're losing to the big team, lost to Spurs. So you draw
Drew
to
to Brighton, they beat Norwich, they beat Man.
Yeah, but like, see,
Man
like
City.
if you want, you got to beat the teams above you, which they're not haven't really done this season. Yes, they beat City.
But then again,
drew with us.
the teams above the likes of Chelsea, they can go lose to other teams while
Yeah, they can
Wolves are winning. It's interesting.
But then they're drawing to play teams like Brighton and all that, which they should be winning as well. I don't know, but
again,
I don't think they can. I think they can get fifth. I still think, I said at the start of the year, I think fifth place for them this season is on the
it's
card.
an achievement.
Yeah, no, it's
It's an achievement for
it
Wolves.
is. Yeah, for Wolves it is. But I think they could get fifth, fourth. Might be a bit of a
Look,
stretch, but you never
Europa,
know.
Europa, you want to be in Europa at least.
Well, look, if they win the Europa,
They're in Champions
doesn't
League.
really matter.
None of this matters
Yeah,
really.
none of it really matters.
But again, Mane pulling Liverpool out of danger, 1-0. The formation was interesting. Salah played the number 9 role this time, and Firmino sat deeper as a 10 because Lallana started this game.
Yeah.
It was an interesting one, seeing Salah play up front and Firmino sitting a bit as a 10, which I think Firmino is a 10.
Did they rest any players?
Yeah, if you
Not
if you-
really.
Not really.
not
I mean,
really.
nah. The team started. Milner didn't start, which is it's always give or take. But yeah, Lallana started out wide this time. We saw the likes of Salah playing as a 9 and Firmino, which I think is a 10, playing his actual role.
Yeah.
But look, before we move on to the next show, and I know you're on this on camera. Has Liverpool now won the league to you, or still not yet?
No, it's still time, man. 18 games. Even with their game in hand, I mean, one hand's on the trophy. That's for sure.
They are
One hand's on the trophy, but you never know. Anything can happen. You know,
they are 13
could-
points clear with a game in hand.
they could get like
13.
points stripped off. Something we can.
They
Is there a
realise that
salary cap? Is there a salary cap?
They realise they're paying VAR and it gets caught out.
Yeah, come on, something.
Drama. Something.
It's got to be an investigation put in.
Maybe we should hire someone to like
Invest there.
I'm
100%.
down.
But
I'm
look,
absolutely down.
one hand on the trophy for me. Once again, above on Christmas. Usually they're the only team that's done it that has not won it. So
Twice.
maybe this is now the curse.
2 times you've been a first and dropped
Once
it,
or 3 times, where I think
and it's been Liverpool.
So
They
do you know
only
what?
covers
You never know.
Oh, look, to me,
the curse might be broken, but there's still a long way to go.
I don't see them losing it, man.
You never know.
I don't think Man City's been strong enough as of late, but you're right, you do never know.
You never know.
18 games to go, 13 points clear with a game in hand. Anything can happen.
18 wins, 1 draw.
They could draw
Bro,
a bunch
could
of
they,
games.
Could they not lose the whole? Like, you reckon they can go unbeaten? All
Is it
year?
going to be Invincibles? I think potentially.
And if they get in the Invincibles, this Invincible team will be better than Arsenal's.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
I think so too, though.
I think so, man.
I think especially they're almost past their points anyway.
But they could be Invincibles, knowing Liverpool. They could do the Invincibles and still not win the league. They can draw another 10 games. Hey, that's Liverpool's way.
That's what I want.
The draws are Liverpool.
That's what I want.
We'll see.
And then we finished off the round with was it Manchester
yeah.
City. They had to bounce
2-0
back,
to
like we
Sheffield.
said, like from
Yeah.
last week. 2-0 to
Losing to
Sheffield.
Wolves.
Bravo was in goals, I think, because what's his name? Red card last week for the keeper.
Correct. The likes of De Bruyne again bossing the game. To me, best
First half,
best
I mean,
player in the league.
Sheffield did all right first half
They did.
to hold off a little bit, but City get the result. I mean, they're still 1 point behind Leicester. You know, it's at 14 points behind Liverpool. Liverpool got a game in hand though, so they can extend that.
But yeah, Man City looked pretty comfortable, to be honest with you. There was obviously, like every game, slight bit of controversy. Apparently, the ref got in the way, and apparently the commentator even said they should have pulled that back, which is absolute rubbish.
I don't think so.
How is that Man City's problem that the ref was in the way? It's not their problem
The referee
at all.
The referee. I'm going by Sunday League.
Yeah.
If you hit the referee will tell you I'm part of the field.
He is.
So if you want
Otherwise,
to
they have refs outside. Like,
Yeah.
that's rubbish. And
I mean, you already do that anyways.
The fact that the commentator to me said that should be pulled back and brought back. Why? Why is that Man City's problem?
Yeah.
Why is that Man City's problem? Yeah, all right.
Like,
Sheffield United, unlucky to you.
remember a
But
couple of years ago where Southampton versus or Sunderland versus Liverpool and the beach ball got in
beach
the way.
ball.
So what do we do now?
Call it back.
Whose fault's that? Like, you know what I mean?
what about when the bird shot in Young's mouth? Do you like give him a
And
free
that's
kick?
why. And that's why. Yeah,
You
that
give him a
should have been
free
a
kick?
penalty and the red card.
Yeah, but to the bird, like, come on, man.
And
like,
Ashley Young.
And
Ashley Young should have
bro,
got the red card
for
too.
eating shit, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
But look, man, I think it was fairly given. It was a goal. No need to brought it back. And the likes of Aguero and De Bruyne, which
Aguero's back. Yeah, Aguero.
look, it's always nice seeing Aguero back in the field.
After being out for a bit.
Yeah, it's
Jesus hasn't been doing too bad, but someone like Aguero, you want in your team, especially the next couple of games. We've got 18 games left.
Yeah.
So what we got here? New Year's Day. Couple of what do we got here?
Again, for me, before we go on though, for me, the Man City problem and why they've been dropping a lot of points off is this Fernandinho as a centre back is just they need him back in a defensive mid role. When he was playing defensive mid role, I remember even saying on camera to you, or we were saying to each other, he's the best at that position in the world right now, as defensive mid. He's a freak. You got Fernandinho playing centre back with Garcia. Laporte is not there. Fernandinho's playing as a centre back. It's just
Mendy didn't start this game. He's still.
a positive player for Man City this season to me has been Mahrez as well. Mahrez has been a consistent player for them.
Well, he's trying to prove himself that why he should be in the squad. If I mean, the fact that Sane was out through to injury, he had to prove himself. I mean, if he didn't,
That's a huge loss.
If
for
he
them.
like, this is what happens. Like a lot of the times, you got to take your chances, right? When you play, when you know, like, all right, last season Sane was getting game time in front of him. When you get the opportunity, you need to start scoring goals. You need to start creating, and to show yourself why you deserve a spot in the starting 11.
That's right.
And I think he could be doing that. But like we see all the time with Guardiola, he likes to rotate the teams, and you could say it's worked for a little bit or it hasn't. That's up to you. Everyone's opinion there. But I think he, like you said, Mahrez has been all right this season for me.
But that was around 19 and 20, man.
Yeah, 19 and 20. Now going into New Year's Day, Brighton versus Chelsea. I mean, however you want to look at it, it's still some big games to get points.
Chelsea have to win.
Chelsea now with United just behind them,
They
especially
have to win this.
especially with like I said, with United just behind them, they need it's a must win. Burnley and Villa again. Villa
must win to get out of that bottom three. These are important games for relegation teams. These are huge games, especially starting the new year. You want to start with a bit of a positive outlook to get out of that bottom three. We then have Newcastle at home to Leicester.
Another big one for Leicester. I mean, Leicester rested their players, so you're looking. I think could be a win, but you never know. Newcastle, that team that you go to St James's Park and they get.
It's an unknown. Yeah, it's an unknown. But Leicester would, like you said, the players all been rested. They'll be starting their full strength team against Newcastle. The likes of Watford and Wolves are always an interesting game against each other. And now I know Wolves are doing great as a 7th place squad at the moment, and Wolves are in the relegation. Sorry, Watford in the relegation zone. But this match to me is very unpredictable. I can't predict the winner of this game. And I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
But
I think Wolves will get the result
Yeah.
based on how they've been playing, and they'll be disappointed. They'll be disappointed, like with the VAR call, and maybe they should have. Maybe they thought they should have got a result at Anfield, but I think they could win this game. But then again, Watford, like we said, they haven't lost in the last three games.
And they've been looking positive as of late. An interesting one to me, but is Southampton at home to Tottenham. And I cannot believe I'm saying this. I reckon Southampton's going to pull a point in this game. It's going to be an interesting one. We'll see. Tottenham and Mourinho have to prove a bit of a point here, I think. If they want to get that 4 and maintain that top 4 spot. Like I said about every other game, the beginning of the year is very important.
Well, and especially like, let's just say if Chelsea drop points. I mean, Chelsea have been decent away. They've been struggling at home, but away they've been decent. But let's just say they drop points here. Spurs will be desperate then to get a result. And then it depends which way you want to take it. You can take it as a bit more pressure to win, or a bit more pressure to not lose. So that's another thing that when Chelsea are playing first, and we saw it last year when City was always playing first and Liverpool was playing the second game after them, and then it was like more pressure. City just won. City just lost. We have to win.
That's right.
So you got there a bit of a mind game. But look, I don't know. I'm looking at it. Maybe Spurs can win this game.
Look,
because they're getting results when they're not meant to be getting results. So I think if they play a decent game, I think they can get on top of Southampton.
Yeah. Obviously, if you'd like to think Tottenham would put the result, but Southampton lately have been looking slight bit dangerous, but we'll see what happens. West Ham at home to Bournemouth. Obviously now with Pellegrini out, and rumours of Moyes coming in, potentially Moyes being the manager again.
The deal's done.
Or the deal is done. Big game for them. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. The big one for me next week, obviously, there's other games like Arsenal United coming up, but Man City at home to Everton. Guardiola versus Ancelotti. It's always going to be a big clash.
I just can't see this Everton team
beating Man
City. I don't know why. I don't know. I think that
Man City should.
I know they've bought players. I know that Everton bought players recruited, but I don't think they bought the right players.
Yeah.
But I think City should do the job.
Yeah,
hopefully they get some of their players back from injury in this game. I don't know if he's rested a few. But to make City win this game, then we got Norwich, Crystal Palace.
Norwich must start. If they have any hope of getting at that last spot, they've got to start pulling results. And Crystal Palace is a difficult one to do it against. I think so.
And then we got the last game. Oh no, actually we got a few more.
I think the match of the round will be Arsenal at home to Man United. We don't need to place importance in this game. I think it's hugely important, and it's as important for each club to pull the 3 points. For Arteta and Arsenal for a booster. For United to get close to that top 4 spot with potential of Chelsea or Tottenham dropping points.
Yep.
You always got to take advantage and always
especially
take the moment.
Arsenal need to win, get out of that drop zone, because if they, like we said, there's a few teams below them, 1 or 2 wins, and then you're dropping further down the ladder. And then finally on the third we have Liverpool and Sheffield United, which
look, Sheffield United could pull a result. You never know.
They won't.
Come on, man.
They won't. I know we want them to.
Optimistic.
But they're not going to.
Yeah, no, they're not going to.
Guys, thanks again for another episode, the last episode of the year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Make sure you subscribe. Like. And hit the bell. And we'll see you next year.
See you next year, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy Rooney.